Culture? Yes, every leader talks about culture. But what culture is not is the mission statement hanging on the wall or the pizza party that we give our staff members when they are short-staffed. That's not culture. What culture is what people sense when they walk through the door of the organization and what they feel. That is culture. It's palpable within the organization. Hey, I'm Dr. Jeff, and I want to talk about what I think we need, which is a culture reinvention as we finish 2025 in the next few months and we launch into 2026, because it's essential that we realize that what we did 5 years ago will not work today. It requires an adaptability and a flexibility of leaders to not think about things we've done in the past as continuing today, but willing to realize that change is occurring every single day, and we will get left behind as leaders, and our organizations will get left behind if we don't look at changing or shifting some things in our leadership skills. So I want to talk about 5 things that we need to shift in our leadership that I believe will launch and propel our organizations forward and prepare our organizations to be successful in the future. So the first one I want to talk about is we must go from control to trust. And what that means is that long gone are the days where we used to micromanage and look over our employees' shoulder to push results. Because if we do that, then we possibly have the wrong people in their roles. So it begins with our selection, but also it requires us to be willing to take away the control piece of our leadership and be able to trust those in their role that they are skilled and able to perform in those roles. If they are not, then we need to look at things a little bit differently. However, if they are, we need to be able to trust that they are able to perform and get the results that we expect. So we have to go from control to trust. And when we go from control to trusting our people that we serve, I believe that our organizations will become more innovative and creative because we trust the people within our organizations. Number 2, we must actually go from perks to purpose. You know, we focused a lot about celebrations, which are crucial and important. We focus about perks for our employees, which are important as well. But what I think is truly more important than perks, and not telling you to get rid of those within an organization, is an employee to feel purpose. So going from perks to purpose and realizing that people want to be part of a movement or have purpose of what's happening in the organization. I work in healthcare, and I want to have purpose that the decisions that I make every single day are having a great impact on the quality of care for our patients and also a great impact on the team members that I serve. So I want to have purpose. It's not about perks associated with my position. It's about the purpose that I feel every single day, that when I wake up, I know that I can truly make a difference, and the culture of my organization that I work for allows me to have purpose. And so I want to encourage that as we're focusing on perks, and a lot of people focus on what is the flavor of the day, what is the program of the day. Yes, there may be some parts of that are important within a culture, but what's more important is how are we ensuring that the people that work in our organization truly have purpose. Number 3, we must go from burnout to balance. Well, what do you mean about that, Dr. Jeff? We literally celebrate people who work hours and hours and hours, and to the point of exhaustion. We celebrate them because they are the hard workers in our organization. What we don't realize is that as we're celebrating people who are working to exhaustion, they are also working to a level of burnout, and we may potentially lose our best team members on our team because they are burned out from all the work they're having to do. So we must go from celebrating to the point of burnout to looking for the health and wellness of our team and having a balance. Because a healthy team, a well team, is a team that will perform to the best of their ability, and they'll be safe within the organization, and they'll feel like that they are part of the organization and that we truly care about their health and well-being. So we've got to quit celebrating the hard worker that is working 80 hours to exhaustion and really look at how do we balance the work environment for our team to ensure that they're healthy and well and they can perform to the best of their ability. And number 4, we must go from diversity to belonging. Because of all the focus on a diverse workforce, I think a lot of organizations check the bookmark, or check the check mark, I should say, of trying to hire a diverse workforce. And look how many people that I've hired that are diverse throughout the workforce, but yet we don't work on that diverse workforce actually feel like that they're belonging to the team. So how do we celebrate a culture of belonging? How do we create a culture of belonging while also having a diverse workforce? We can't just focus on one thing of diversity, but we also have to make sure throughout our entire workforce that as leaders, we're working on a culture of belonging. And finally, the last point is we must go from stability to agility. And throughout my entire career of over 30 years in healthcare, I have seen change after change after change. I know that change will always occur, and it will always be part of my career as long as I am working. I've seen changes in actually just normal life of different things that have been developed, and it's been quite interesting, and I look forward to seeing what changes may occur in the future as I get older. But we can't say if it ain't broke, we don't fix it. And that's the language that I'm going to use today. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because people with that mentality that look at staying the same way, they're losing sight of the benefit of change and also the potential of their organizations not being successful because we didn't adapt to the change going on and we're not agile to make decisions and move forward as change moves forward. The worst thing we can do is have a competitor who's out there who is really agile and embracing change, who flies back past us, and they look through the rearview mirror and they see us, and suddenly we're broke down on the side of the road because we just didn't want to fix it because it didn't seem broke. What's being broke is us not being agile and adapting to change. So as leaders, we have to shift from that mindset and be agile in our leadership. So our call to action is to have a great culture reinvention. We have to realize that we've got to go from control to trust, from perks to purpose, from burnout to balance, from diversity to belonging, and from stability to agility. Because the culture that we create today will be the culture where people decide to run away from or run to tomorrow. And what decision do you want as a leader? I can tell you what I want as a leader is I want it to be the culture where people want to stay in and they want to run to. So let's look at how can we shift in these 5 areas that I've addressed in this video to have a great culture reinvention as we finish out 2025 and as we strategically look into 2026. As we serve together, Dr. Jeff.